It is October 2018 and this is a good month. This is gonna be an awesome, epic month and I'm so excited. This month marks my 1-year anniversary of when I started running and really committed to all the changes that have happened in my life. There's a lot more than just the physical side of this that's changed in my life. It's a domino effect. Like, if I can change this, then I can change this. And then maybe I can change this, and maybe I can change this up. And then, you know, before you know it, your life has completely changed in every way possible. So I thought for my 1-year anniversary, kind of reflect back on how far I've come. I mentioned a long time ago in one, maybe multiple videos, that I wanted to talk about what it was like to start. I was 255 last October. That was the highest number that I had seen. It could have been higher than that, but to be perfectly honest, I didn't really step on the scale too much back then. And once it got to like 255, I just kind of stopped looking. My eating habits included pretty much whatever I wanted to eat. I would eat like seconds, sometimes thirds of whatever I was eating. I ate a lot of processed food, a lot of canned things, rarely cooked from scratch, lots of fast food, way more than I think I realized. If my kids didn't finish what they were eating for their lunches or dinners or something, I would usually finish their plates too. It became apparent to me when I started logging my calorie intake every day how much I was actually consuming. If you go to like a personal trainer or something, and that's one of the first things they tell you to do, is I want you to track everything that you put into your mouth every single day, just for like a couple days or a week or something, and just see what it looks like. And you always think to yourself, oh, it's not that bad. I'm going to say right now that I would say a good 75% of my success through this is because I learned how to eat. I learned how to portion. I learned different things about macros. It definitely made a difference to do my research and figure out the food side of things, basically, and to unlearn the habits of me, you know, not to have a can of SpaghettiOs for dinner when I'm tired, that sort of thing. I don't remember everything from the beginning because it was hard. I remember it was very, very hard. I've never, ever in my life been the kind of person that's like, you know what sounds good today? Let's go for a run. That's just not me. It's still not me. I like the benefits of running. I like the time that it gives me to be in my own head, and I usually have some really good thoughts about things while I'm running, and I come up with some good ideas for other things. And I also like knowing that I am doing something good for myself, and that's really what I held on to in the beginning. If you can do this, you're gonna see results. This is the way that it's gotta be. Nothing else you've tried has worked so far. I just kept reminding myself, this is how it's gonna be. You can't turn back. If you turn back, nothing's gonna change, you know? You don't change, you don't see changes. That's the way it works. In the beginning, I could barely run maybe 30 seconds max before I was huffing and puffing and felt like I was dying and couldn't breathe, and I would end up having to walk a good 5 to 10 minutes before I could make an attempt to run some more. And it wasn't really even running, it was just like a very light jog that I was trying to do. I started doing a 1.5 miles in the beginning. That was what I was working on. At no point in that first month was I able to consistently go that 1.5 miles, just running pace anyway. There was lots of stopping and breathing, and sometimes I even had to stop and sit down. I remember my knees aching a lot, very often, and it wasn't like a horrible pain. It was it felt like there was a little tiny pebble or something, you know, kind of like what you get in your shoe and when you're walking. Once in a while you get like the smallest of pebbles, and it's just annoying under there under your foot and you have to stop and get it out. But it felt that way between like my kneecap and the bone behind it. It felt like there was like a little pebble or something in both of my knees, and it was so annoying. There were times where I felt like one leg was longer than the other, and I know that that's an actual thing, like one of your legs is longer than the other, but I've never felt like one has been, you know. I remember my muscles always being sore. My lungs burned for a long time, like I had been, you know, coughing or something. I realized that I had a lot of, this is TMI, a lot of excess like mucus in my system. It hurt to run because like my fat rolls would, you know, like jiggle as you're running, and the impact of my feet hitting the ground with like the hard, ugh. But I knew it was good for me. I knew I had to do it. Every month I upped my distance to about a quarter mile. It was a few weeks into the actual running schedule that I had for myself that I noticed a change in my breathing. It wasn't the change where you know you can keep going. It was a change of, this doesn't hurt so bad anymore. Like I can start to go longer distances, and I had been able to run in my younger years when I was a teenager. I was able to run almost endlessly for so long without having problems breathing. It had been a long time, but I knew what that would sort of feel like. And so when I noticed that this change in my breathing happened, it encouraged me again. It lit a spark in me, like, this is really working. I'm getting closer. I still have a ways to go, but I'm getting closer. The weight started coming off slowly, which is fine. I had made that conviction to myself. I am not going to be in a hurry. I'm not going to rush anything. I'm not going to give myself deadlines. The only thing I wanted to do was to focus on getting better in the beginning. And then I set the goal of doing a 5K in the springtime, which I blew out of the water because the very first run that I did, the very first race, was a 7K, which is a 4.3 mile run, and that was the longest I had ever run at that point. It was hard, it was brutal, it was cold, it was exhausting, but it felt great. A couple weeks after I started running, I decided one day, you know what, I'm just gonna do a full 5K, which is 3.1. Oh my God, I had never felt so much discomfort and pain and exhaustion in my life by the time I was done. I had walked most of it, but my legs were aching, my feet were swollen, my back hurt, my stomach hurt, my arms hurt, like my neck hurt. It was a bad choice, but I learned that I was not ready for that. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're not used to it, it's a lot. The person who was helping train me, he is a very good friend, and he introduced me to what are called Roctanes, and I've shown them, I think, in my like what I wear when I'm running video. They're just little amino acid caffeine gel packets, and they are, oof, it's like crack when you're running. And so I started using those and noticed a huge difference there. For my birthday, he bought me some running shoes, my Asics. That made such a huge difference in my running, you guys. Oh my gosh, it solved so many of my problems. My knee problems stopped, my feet problems, the aching in my legs. And this obviously is also due to me losing the weight. As you're going through this, you're going to naturally be losing weight as long as you're, you know, eating better as well. Your body gets used to what you're putting it through. Just know that no matter how hard you try exercising, you can't out-train a poor diet. That's what he tells me all the time. And it's true, you can't. You have to learn to eat better. You don't have to be perfect at it. It's progress, not perfection. But you do have to get better at learning to eat better for you foods. Something else that I learned through this is it really is like a mental, psychological battle, especially in the beginning. And I'm not going to say just the beginning. This whole time that I've been doing it, I've had mental battles with myself over running. Like, I'm feeling lazy. I don't want to do this. Like, yeah, get up off your butt and go do it. And nothing's going to change if you don't make the change. You have to mentally go to battle to get yourself to keep going. Even days when I didn't really feel tired and I was just in a bad mood, and I'm like, I do not want to do this. I had to slow myself down and work it out in my head, like just do it. You know you're going to feel great about yourself afterwards. You know it's benefiting you. All you're losing is a little bit of time. And even then, it's not really being lost because it's working towards a greater goal. Giving yourself pep talks in your head is always a good thing. And I was always right. Every time I finished, when I was in one of those moods, if I just pushed through it and told myself to shut up and just do what I knew needed to be done, it was the greatest overjoyed feeling for myself. And I haven't felt joy towards myself in so long. I've hated myself for a long time. And that's sad to say. I have not been loving myself. I'm learning, even now, I'm still learning to love myself. My biggest goal for the first year was to get under 200 pounds so I could jump on the trampoline with my kids. I achieved that. Again, run in a race. I ran in several now. Gosh, I think 6, maybe 7. I have one more that I have planned for the year, and it is my 10K Monster Dash. That is coming up at the end of this month, October 27th. It'll be my first 10K race, and I am so ready for it. I'm so excited. I wanted to kind of move on to what my goals are going to be for next year, because that's really what is going to keep you successful on this, is to constantly be setting goals for yourself. I think I said that in another video. Setting goals is key to not really staying motivated, but holding yourself accountable for this new life that you're creating. I originally wasn't going to focus so much on like the scale and how much weight I want to lose type of thing, but I genuinely feel like it might be a good goal for me to see if I can get back down to what I weighed in high school. And I'm hesitant to make this like a solid concrete goal. I want to get down to 150 again. And I am 99.999% sure I can make it to that goal. However, I kind of want to give myself a little extra, you know? Little extra kick. And in high school, I was, up until my senior year, I was between 130 and 135. I feel like that's an obtainable goal. My second goal, I want to run a half marathon next year. Originally, I was going to say the springtime, but I was talking with my friend, and he brought up a good point that I live in Minnesota. I'm not the fastest runner. I'm going to work on getting my times up per mile this winter on the treadmill, but that's not going to give me a lot of time to train long distance. And 13.1 miles, that's a lot of miles, you guys. Eventually I want to get to a marathon, which is 26.2, but I'm thinking half marathon is a good goal to have. Probably late summer, early fall next year, I would like to sign up for a half marathon and accomplish that. And then my final goal, I'll probably post. I took a little video so I could have something to reflect back on, but I think it's good to share it too. I want to tone up my stomach. That's like my biggest problem area right now. My butt needs toning, my thighs, like my upper thighs need toning. Everything is way better than it was a year ago, obviously, and I am so proud of myself, but I'm gonna be really honest, I have not focused much on toning and like strength training. The only reason that my arms are getting better is because of my job. I lift like 50, 60, 70 pound parts all day, every day, and it's given me some guns. Those are my initial goals for next year. I'm going to make mini goals for in between these goals. So for like the half marathon thing, instead of running the 7K in March, I think I'm going to run the 14K, which I believe is 8.6 or 8.7 miles. I can definitely do that. I know that's going to be a good goal. There are plenty of races around here too that have 10 milers. So I'm thinking I would sign up for one of those as well. So kind of working my way up to that 13.1. I know I can do it, and it's just going to be a matter of training my body to be able to physically handle all of that. That's it. That's where I'm at for my 1 year. It's not exactly 1 year yet, so I'm not going to verbally tell you how much I weigh because I don't know yet. When I do post this, it'll be on my 1 year, and I will put how much I weigh currently down in the description below. It's been a hell of a year and there's been so much that has happened, and I could not be more proud of myself. So anyway, I will see you guys in my next update. I'm so excited. I'm gonna use this as like a reference for me. I might add it into a video, but I'm starting to concentrate more on like tightening and toning and, you know, getting rid of things. I'm very happy with where I'm at right now, but I still need to keep going. I still need to take care of some problem areas. Anyway, I wanted to show as well that even though, you know, I've lost all this weight and I haven't really shown, there's the kitty, Zoidberg. I haven't really shown myself like full body in a video. So this is a size small shirt. I don't wear size small much. I had this in like a 2X or something. But anyway, so I figured this is a good shirt to start with because I will shrink into it better. You can see like in my waist that there's a little bit of muffin top. I'm sucking at this, sorry. Anyway, there's a little bit of muffin top, which, you know, it's not bad, but kind of hard. You can see that most of the rolls and stuff on my back are gone. There's still loose skin there, see? And then, like, you can see I've got a muscle building there from work. Like, it's not just all fat anymore. But I wanted to show you my actual stomach and give myself, you know, like, reference for later down the road. But so this is, I'm not going to go too much higher, but this is my stomach. And this isn't even the whole truth. Like, if we want to go that far into it, there's my stomach. Yeah. Again, this is way better than it was, you know, 11 months ago. But you can see, like, I've still got some handlebars here, and it looks like my belly button is frowning. I know that getting rid of this in particular is extremely difficult. I'm not looking for perfection. I just want to feel better. Anyway, this is me at 175. I started this morning some core workouts and some leg workouts and a little bit of arm strength. With my job, I've gotten a lot better, like with lifting, and that's how I'm getting muscles in my arm at all. Sorry about this. But, you know, like lifting things above my head or going out to the side is still extremely difficult for me. So that's what I'm working on my arms. But this is just an overview of where I am at right now. So I will check back in occasionally with any updates or whatever.